Hunting season is winding down. We hope everybody had a chance to fill their tags and fill their freezer and load up their tables. The crew here at LT Arms recently had the chance to head out to Chase County, Kansas to the Clover Cliff Ranch, and we went on a pretty awesome bison hunt provided by the nice folks there at Clover Cliff Ranch. We decided to make a video diary of everything that went on out there. We filmed pretty much everything, and we broke it down into a nice little segment for you guys to watch. Enjoy. We left town in the early morning hours to beat the congestion and hustle and bustle of Denver rush hour traffic. We were finally out of town, and we were greeted by the beautiful morning sunrise of Colorado's eastern plains. Once we crossed into Kansas, we had to contend with some of the typical western Kansas winds and the continuous scenery of the Kansas plains. In between naps, the only views we had were windmills, and lots of them, with an occasional water tower to call out our location. After roughly 7 hours, we were greeted by the grand driveway to the historic Clover Cliff Ranch. Clover Cliff was originally built in 1883 and still retains much of its late 19th and early 20th century charm, with original furniture, artwork, heirlooms, and fixtures remaining to this day. We can only imagine some of the conversations that were had in the parlor. We were greeted by some of the stock herd on the property, but looked forward to tracking the free-range animals that loomed out on the sprawling acreage that Clover Cliff encompasses. More challenging and definitely more rewarding. We geared up the next morning to less cooperative weather conditions than when we arrived, but looked forward to the impending challenge by loading up the side-by-sides and heading out on our hunt, kids in tow and ready for the day.
Look like it's about nap time.
Yeah.
This little rock is asleep.
Yeah. They're pretty good about calls.
We came across our first bull after a short trek, and we were able to get him on the ground quick and easy with one expertly placed shot from Michaela's custom-built Shikari rifle in 6.8 Western. The celebration was underway, but we still had one more bull and a cow to track down after the herd was riled from our first harvested bison. We started the long walk through the creek bed that crosses the property. Zigzagging across the creek, keeping close tabs on the herd, trying to stay close but avoiding spooking them in an effort to get our second bull. The weather was becoming less cooperative, and we knew we were limited by snow and time, as well as fast-dropping temperatures. Thankfully, The water level in the creek was low, making crossing it a much easier task than it would be at certain times of year when this creek is raging. At this point, our group broke down into a much smaller one so we could maintain a quiet approach to the bison that were hiding in the trees ahead. We pressed on, and after a bit of guidance from our guide Spencer, located the dispersed herd in a grove of trees. We were able to sneak up unnoticed, which gave us a moment to gain our composure and really inspect the herd and select a choice bull from the group. After a few minutes of watching them, opportunity arose. The next bull went down as easy as the first with another precision shot, this time from Evan utilizing another one of our custom-built Shikari rifles, this one chambered in the tried and true big game stopper 375 H&H. With only a single cow remaining to fill our day's ambitions, we continued along the creek to locate the remaining herd, and like clockwork, our hunting partner Jeff was able to get off a well-placed shot with his .270 and get the third animal on the ground as efficiently as the first two, and fulfilling our triple for the day.
Jeez.
The fun part was over, but the hard work was still ahead of us. Lucky for us, Clover Cliff is a fully functioning ranch and has some machinery to help us do the heavy lifting and limit our time exposed to the storm system that was looming over us. Clover Cliff has great facilities for processing our harvest, so we took advantage of the accommodations and got to work breaking down the 3 bison for transport back to Colorado that evening. We had plans to stay another day, but Mother Nature had other plans, and we were in a rush to prep all 3 animals and avoid the impending snow and ice storm that was forecasted for the entire state of Kansas in the coming hours. Thanks to the magic of time-lapse, we're able to take a few hours' work and truncate it down into a couple of minutes. All 3 bison took about 4 hours to break down, but it was a great learning experience and a great time was had by all. We definitely look forward to doing this again next year and in years to come. Once we were all packed in and ready to go, we headed back to Denver and broke everything down further and sent the remainder to our local processor. Of course, we had to do a little taste test to reap the rewards of our labor, and it did not disappoint. There's really nothing like freshly harvested meat that you sourced yourself to give you a pat on the back for a job well done. We highly recommend it. In following with tradition, we try to utilize as much of the animal as we can and even tan the hides thanks to the work of our on-site taxidermist Hunter T's Taxidermy, who did a great job with these mounts from previous hunts at Clover Cliff Ranch. We thanked Spencer and Warren, who run Clover Cliff Ranch, by presenting them with these two-of-a-kind Shikari rifles we custom built for them in 6.8-300 Weatherby, and look forward to future hunts on the ranch. All of our Shikari rifles are custom built in-house here at LT Arms. This particular model features a Wooks chassis with a Shikari action, case-hardened brake and bottom metal, and these beautiful Nutter blued screws. Now it's time for some hard-earned rest.